So the skills that we are required to have as riders, and I just kind of threw out some that I think are important in no particular order, but in independent seat, leg, and rein. Now, that's kind of at the front, but it's one of the most difficult things to do, okay? But that means that when we use our legs, that we don't have to push at the same time. When we use our seat, we don't have to lean on the reins, this kind of thing. It's very easy to say it, but this is one of the most important things to the horses, because otherwise they get confused and they start responding on what we're doing, which might be applying conflicting aids at the same time. And we think that they're not hearing us or that they're responding badly, when it actually could be what we're really asking them to do. So it's a skill for us to have an independent seat, independent from our leg and reins, independent leg, independent from the seat and reins, independent reins, which means we can use our hands without using our seat, without losing our balance, without gripping with our legs. Different from that, but along the same line, is the skill of the application of the aids. So how do we apply the aids and then develop that skill that we do it correctly? This is, again, it's going to start off at a certain level. We ask the horse to go, we ask the horse to stop, we ask the horse to turn. As we become more fluent and more educated with it, then it's going to get more seamless, right? In the beginning, it's a little bit of a rudimentary asking, and then we get a little bit more feel, we get a little bit more understanding, we get more skill in applying the aids, and then it feels fluent and like it flows together. In the beginning, when we first start riding, it's not going to be like that. We want to build the skill of having a balanced position. So that means that we're not leaning forwards or backwards, and we're not allowing the horse to make us lean forward or backwards or side to side. So this is a skill, because sometimes it can happen that the horse is pushing us out of the saddle one way, pushing us forward, pushing us sideways. And so we need to have that understanding in our body to really know when we are upright, when we are straight, and then ask the horse to stand up underneath us correctly, not to be pushed all the time while trying to make them feel better or feel happier, right? It can be that you make the horse a little bit uncomfortable for a minute when you say, no, I'm not going to get out of the saddle here. You need to carry my seat bones equally. You're not allowed to push me over there or push me forwards. It can happen that the horse doesn't really want you to sit. Now, we want to be careful. It can be that they push us around because the saddle doesn't fit perfectly or they don't feel comfortable. So we want to be careful about that. If there's a constant problem and we're feeling all the time out of whack, like the horse is constantly pushing us this way or that way, or never likes it that we're sitting in the middle, then we need to find out, do they have a weakness? Do they have a discomfort? Is the saddle not fitting? We're not going to force everything, but we need to know that is a skill that we need to build. And that's why I really like the Tai Chi and Qigong and stuff like that, where it helps me to have that awareness of both sides of my body and get, my left side working similar to my right side. The brushing the teeth with the opposite hand. I'm gonna move just a little bit. I don't think it's too bad, but and you need to come back on. The chopsticks with the opposite hand. There we go. Come here, Ab. So these kind of things, for me, that's a skill. And it's something that we have to work on independent of the riding and then when we're riding. And then ability to follow the movement of the horse. In the beginning, when we first get on, that's not even going to be a slight possibility. Your whole goal is simply going to be to not fall off. But as you start to realize that gravity is keeping you in the saddle, that the movements and the steps are, repeatable and reliable, then you start to let go a little bit and you allow your body to move with the horse. And then we start to build the skill of moving with the horse for what we like and riding a little bit against what we don't like. And through that is one way that we train the horses to go in better balance. So if the horse is trying to go on the forehands all the time, lean on the shoulders and lean on the reins, we are going to redirect the focus onto the hind legs. So we are moving with the natural movement of the horse, but we are going to focus more on the part of the step that's happening under the saddle. And we're going to take the focus, take the focus off of that finishing part. Okay. So, for me, these things are skills required as riders.